Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Karla and I'm a neuroscience student on the pre-med track. And today I'm going to give you some strategies I use to help motivate me and push me to get started studying when I'm not feeling so motivated. So the first tool I like to use is called the Pomodoro Technique. And the main idea about this is that we're breaking down our time into manageable bite-sized chunks that we can kind of push ourselves to get started. I like to do the 25-5, 25 minutes working and 5 minutes break. And that's what I like to call one POM. And generally, I like to do 4 POMs in a row. So we do 25-5, 25-5, 25-5, 25-5. And then after that, you get a 15-minute break, and then you can start over if you need to. So there are a couple different variations to this depending on how much time you want to be working. I know some people like to do 50-10. And for the MCAT studying, I plan on doing like 90-10 because that's how the MCAT is broken down. It does take a little bit of endurance to get up to the higher numbers, but it's just practice, so definitely feel free to start at any range that you feel fit. Sometimes when I'm really not motivated to work, I'll do 15-5 just to start building up, and usually after the first POM, it's kind of easy to get the ball rolling. It's kind of tricking yourself into really getting started. And it also gives you a discrete structure to let you know, like, hey, like there's gonna be some break, there's gonna be some work. Everything feels like a little bit less overwhelming, especially if you have a lot of tasks to complete. You just feel like you're getting started, like that's like the most important step to get started and to get going. So this is gonna really help in that. There are 2 apps that you can use to help you keep the time. I mean, honestly, you don't really have to pay for any app to do this because it's really just a timer on and off. So, I mean, you can use your phone. I kind of stray away from using my phone because I can get really distracted. And if you do want to use your phone, there's this app called Forest that I believe every time that you finish like a POM, every time that you do like one working session, it'll grow a tree into your forest, and you can compete with friends, you can compete with other people if that's something that motivates you. I sometimes didn't really care about the tree as long as I'm getting the work done. It is a paid app, I believe, and so that might stray you away from getting it. Totally fine. I also like that you can do study rooms in there, so oftentimes with my study buddy, we'll link up on Forest and create like a Forest study room, and then we'll just start the timer, and then it'll notify us when it's done, and then we'll just like take 5 minutes and like chat or take a break, watch TV, whatever. There's this website that I really like to use, and I use this website all the time. It's called pomofocus.io. It's completely free, and I really like that it can also keep track of the amount of working like times that you have. I mean, honestly, when I study, I throw my phone to the other corner of the room, so I throw it on my bed actually, so it lands nice and comfortably. I just find that I shouldn't have my phone near me at all. That's why this website really helps, because then I'll just have this website on the screen. It's really, really useful. I love that it's free. Definitely recommend it. The next strategy I use, technique, is to find a study buddy. So this has been like my most motivating factor, because when you're working with someone else and like you see them being motivated, when you're not feeling so motivated, it's like, wow, okay, like you just get in the zone. And you know, it works vice versa, right? Sometimes my study buddy doesn't feel too motivated, and I'm like, nah, let's do this. Let's do a Pomodoro, let's do this. I'm starting the timer, you know? There's also this website that I'll put the link in the description below. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's this website that you can join different study rooms, and the study rooms are just Zoom links, like they're Zoom rooms. And you can go, and there's like 100 or 200 people on there, and they're all studying, and you can turn on your camera, you can leave it off, you can just put it there, and that can kind of help you stay motivated, especially if you see other people studying. It seems cool in theory. I hope that it's like not weird for those people on there. The third strategy I like to use is kind of tricking your brain. So I like to tell myself, all right, I'm just gonna study for 1 minute. I literally use this technique like in all aspects of my life. Like if I don't want to work out, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna lift weights for 1 minute. Okay, I'm just gonna go running for 1 minute. I mean, after that, you've basically taken like the hardest step, which is the first step. This is also the most important step. And after you've like passed the friction of getting that 1 minute started, it's really easy to keep going. And this is like one of the most valuable techniques that I've used in all aspects of my life, so I definitely recommend it. So now onto specifically studying and establishing and sticking to your routine. Something I find very important to do is to have everything ready, so when you get started studying, it's literally a matter of just looking at what you have to do and getting started. You want to make sure that you're taking away any friction or any task that's gonna like give you a chance to slip up and like decide, no, okay, I'm gonna watch Netflix instead. No, I'm gonna go work out instead. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's gonna prevent you from getting started, we want to minimize that as much as possible. So what you can do is just have every tool that you need to get started studying for when you sit at your desk like absolutely ready. That means opening up to the exact page number that you want. That means having your pens, your pencils, having everything charged if you need electronics, having your website open, having your pomofocus.io tab open to get started with the Pomodoros. This is something I like to do generally the night before, especially if I have like a strict routine that I need to do for the semester or for the week or whatever, and it's something that's been super valuable for me. Now this one's kind of a funny one. So the next thing is I really like to listen to like film instrumentals. I'll put my Spotify playlist in the description below if you're interested. But I just feel like whenever I listen to the instrumentals, it feels like I'm watching a movie instead of studying. And that's just something, I don't know why. It's so strange, but I absolutely love it. So that's what I've been doing recently. I just kind of get like the soundtracks from my favorite films at the time, and I put them on, instrumentals of course, because if you listen to like music with lyrics, it can get really like muddled, especially if you're reading and stuff. At least that's what happens with me. And so I definitely recommend it. Make your own Spotify playlist or save mine, whatever suits your preference. I just found that this was a fun way to keep me going. It's helped out a bit. So the next one is that we want to completely avoid multitasking. It's only gonna lead to subpar work, and you're gonna just have to, you know, keep fixing the tasks because it's gonna be completely overwhelming for your brain. There's this saying in Spanish, el que no quiere caldo le dan dos tazas. And essentially what that means is the person that doesn't do the work and doesn't do it well, is gonna have to do it twice in the end. So of course through all of this we want to be studying smarter and not harder. This means employing tactics all the time in any type of studying that we're doing, such as active recall, interleaving, and spaced repetition. I'll be making a video about this if you haven't heard about these techniques before, and I'll link it over here when it's done. Essentially what that means is trying to actually revise everything from memory. It's going to create stronger connections with the material, and it's a better use of your time instead of rereading the textbook, but actually trying to explain it and retrieve the information as you are studying. I like to do this with flashcards, and I'll also link the video of some techniques that I use in case you want to employ them in your study framework. I also like to couple my studies with something that I enjoy, so for me that means a nice cup of coffee in the morning when I'm getting started. I of course avoid these after 12 p.m. because I have a caffeine curfew to make sure that I have better sleep. But if you like to have a hot chocolate, or if you like to listen to the instrumental soundtrack or whatever, just something that's gonna motivate you and make you want to actually study just so that you can do the thing that you like to do. That can also be like studying with your friends. Just make sure that you actually get what you need to get done. And the last tip is something that I found incredibly important for all aspects of my life, not just studying when I feel unmotivated. And it's based off of this quote that it's slow is smooth and smooth is fast. A lot of times, especially when I'm starting to learn something new, I feel like I'm just being too slow at grasping what it is that needs to happen. So I want to speed it up because I just want to be able to understand it. But slow is smooth and smooth is fast. The faster that you're going to be going on any of the tasks, the more multitasking you're doing, any of these things are just going to impair the connections that you're making later on. So that's forced me to shift to a more slow and steady attitude in which I'm doing the best I can and try to actually understand, comprehend the material. This is going to help me study smarter, not harder. And this is definitely going to pay off in the end if you're putting in the amount of work you need to put in at the time that you need to do it. It's been super helpful. It also helps if I feel anxious because I have like a test coming soon and I don't feel like I've prepared enough for it. I just think slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So I just try to get started, do the work that I need to do, the amount I need to do it. It's just so much easier later on. Definitely pays off in the back end. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and feel free to pick and choose the tips that you take from this video. This is just what I've learned from my experience, so it might not be the exact case for you. But anyways, I do hope it helped. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you want more content from me. If you enjoyed this type of video in specific, just leave me a comment below and I'll try to make more content like this in the future. I'll catch you guys later.
She's a Mona Lisa.